In the wake of this racist shooting at the Dollar General where Alex just was, where this white man killed 3 black people, Florida's Republican Governor Ron DeSantis, he's announced $1 million to boost security at Edward Waters University, which is, as I say, the first historically black university, institute of higher education in Florida. The shooter was there, as Alex reported, left after he spotted security. That school's less than a mile away from the Dollar General, where the 3 victims were killed. And our next guest is the president of Edward Waters University. He spoke earlier today. Take a listen.
We have attempted to create a culture of caring amongst our student body that champions the moniker, see something, say something. And our students' acceptance and ingratiation of that culture into their university experience truly saved countless lives.
And so Dr. A. Zachary Faison, Jr., president of Edward Waters University, joins us now. Dr. Faison, thank you very much. You must be both relieved and proud of your university today. It went on lockdown, I guess, the day of the shooting. With student population there, 1,200 students. How did that go down? And how is the university now responding in the wake of the shooting just down the street at Dollar General?
Well, thank you so much for having us on. As you might imagine, it has rocked our community. Our students, there's a high level of apprehension amongst our students, our faculty and staff. And so in many respects, we've been reeling. As I think your newscast mentioned, the shooter did come to our campus first. And we don't believe that that was by happenstance. We think that and are relatively convinced that there was some intentionality there. And this is the second time in the last 18 months that Edward Waters has been the target of a racially motivated act of violence. As last year we were a target for an HBCU bomb threat. And so this is something with which we're having a hard time grappling with, and we certainly are calling upon the Biden administration and the White House to provide some specifically aimed support to Edward Waters University and other similarly situated HBCUs, because we are certainly experiencing specific attacks.
Dr. Faison, I did not know that you were the target of a bomb threat as well. And I know that you were also, I guess you were general counsel at Tuskegee. If you could just, what's happening? Is this something new? Has this been a pattern? What is happening that Edward Waters and other institutes of higher education are now targeted by this hatred?
Well, I think, as you mentioned, it's becoming a pattern. Again, yes, last year we were the object of another hate crime, a bomb threat that was specifically aimed at our university. As we mentioned earlier, we are distinctively the state of Florida's first historically black university. We're 157 years old. And so at this point, again, this has become a pattern. This is a specifically targeted act of violence against our institution. And so, again, we appreciate the support that our governor has given us, but it's going to take more than that. We're seeing these kinds of things now happening more often. I do know that UNCF, in which Edward Waters is a member institution, has asked Congress, has asked the Biden administration to support $100 million each year for the next 5 years to come to support Edward Waters University and other private HBCUs around our country that are being made subject to these kinds of acts of violence from white supremacist domestic terrorists. And so, again, we are in need of support here at Edward Waters right now. We don't have the resources to properly fortify our campuses in the way that we need to. And our students deserve to be able to learn and grow in an environment where they can do so without the fear of being murdered by white supremacists. So, again, we're calling on our federal authorities, our federal government, and I'm beseeching President Biden and the White House to step in and do something now to protect these jewels known as historically black colleges and universities around the nation.
Absolutely. It is a sign of the times that where we are, what you've just described. I want to ask about Edward Waters University's place in the Jacksonville community and how students there are reacting to what happened that began, it seems, on the campus and ended at Dollar General down the street.
Yeah. So, our students right now, as I mentioned earlier, they're really in a heightened state of fear. Obviously this is the second time. So for our students that are sophomore students, they went through this last year, and now to have the visceral threat of an actual gunman that came onto the Edward Waters campus, but for the heroic efforts of our campus safety officer, Lieutenant Bailey, this individual had aims to conduct a massive shooting here on the Edward Waters campus. And so again, we are just in need right now of specific support. We need resources. I need resources immediately to help to fortify and secure the students, faculty, and staff on the Edward Waters campus. And so that's where our push is now. Again, we are apprehensive about potential copycats because, again, this is the second time in the last 18 months for Edward Waters. And so we know that this was not by happenstance, that this was a deliberate attempt to stamp out the Black excellence that has for over a century and a half emanated from this great university.
It's just awful. It's awful that it is happening and what it says about the country. And Dr. Zachary Faison, I wish you well, your students well. Hope you get what you need to keep them all safe and continue your historic mission. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.